Hey, Splendid Snake here with another figure review. Today we have got playing on your YouTube. McFarlane Toys. Walking Dead TV series. Andrea. Since I started this review with Michonne, I would do her partner in crime, Andrea. Now, before we go into the figure, let's have a quick chat about the actual character. What do I think about Andrea as a character in the Walking Dead TV series? Without giving any spoilers away or anything, I find her character... I do like her character, but I find her to be a little bit annoying at the same time. She seems to be very focused and driven to do her own thing and determined to do so, generally at the cost of others. Well, I wouldn't say the cost of others, but more like to be damned the others. Yeah. And while it's interesting having this in a zombie apocalypse, I'm not sure if she's like my favourite character, so to speak. But like I said, I do enjoy her, what she brings to the show, and I do think she's a great character to add to the series. What do we think about the figure? Pretty cool, actually. I really do like it. I have a couple of gripes with it. One being the facial expression. I think she's got a very blah expression, like there's nothing there. No fear, no concern, no nothing. Just a very still expression. And I mentioned in my Michonne video that I've had a lot of problems getting these guys to hold their weapons, and this is... and she is definitely the case to prove this. I had to really struggle to get this pitchfork into her hand. But she does come with a total of 3 weapons. The rifle, the pitchfork, the pistol. And the 4th accessory is her jacket, which is removable, although I have not done it myself. And probably will not do it. So, let's have a close look at the figure and the accessories. Okay, so she comes with a pitchfork, which I think is an interesting choice. And I think I remember using it in the series. I honestly couldn't say for definite, but it's cool that they've included it. And it's okay. It's not really anything wow to me. It's got some nice paint wash on the handle and on the fork itself. It's very dirty. That's probably the best expression I can use. It's got some nice silver with some black wash into it. And they've tried to make the handle look wooden. I personally wouldn't say it looks wooden exactly, but it does look pretty cool. Next we have the sniper rifle, which actually is really well done. I think the wood wash on this is superb. I think it looks very good. Can't really complain about it at all. And the leather strap also looks very, very good. I feel maybe some shine on the scope there would have been nice, but all in all, really, really happy with how it looks. Her final weapon accessory is the M9, is it the M9 2F, I think it is, pistol, the Beretta, which is nice enough. It's black with a bit of silver wash to it, maybe a bit heavy on the silver on this side, but all in all, for its scale, I think it's quite well sculpted and has some nice detail in it. As for the actual figure, like I said, her face expression I think is very blah, and I don't honestly think this is the best likeness to the character. I do not know the actress's name in the series, but it is very cool, and she does have some great details. The hair is well sculpted and really well painted actually, as is the shirt. Has some great wash going throughout it. Her jacket has some nice, like, it's not really coming up well on camera, but there is some like light brown highlights there, with the fur trim also well painted. Her trousers, really well sculpted. And her little cowboy boots, well sculpted. And it's kind of interesting, they've given the feet like a worn look, but not the actual boots. To be honest, I didn't even realise that they were boots until just now. And then she's got her green little holster for her pistol, which does fit in there just fine. Just like that. These clasps are not terrible at staying closed, but I find these clasps on any figure are never that great at keeping a tight fit. They normally like pop open. Okay, so speaking of weapons, getting her to hold them. The shape of her hands makes it holding them incredibly difficult. Her fingers are just too, see, they're quite close together, so you can't really get them in there correctly. And either way, you're going to have to, well, if you look at that, look at the size of the handle compared to a hand. There's no way of getting it in there without stretching and warping her thumb. And as you can see from the colour of the hand, already some paint has rubbed off of it just trying to do this. So, not the best. And even then, she holds it a bit goofy looking. You can't put a finger in the trigger and it just doesn't look quite right. She's not even really holding it, look at that gap. So that's a big gripe I have with this figure. And it's not just a pistol. Getting that pitchfork in there was difficult. And I haven't even actually successfully got the rifle in there because the handle's even bigger. For a character who was adamant about being so shooting, it's poor. Well, not poor, but it's unfortunate they've not been able to successfully get this to work. She's holding the rifle, but barely. And I wouldn't even want to try and get it to any other position, to be honest. So that's my gripes with the figure. Let's go for size comparison now. Andrea stands at just under 4.5 inches tall. Strange, Michonne was taller. Here we have Glenn, Tyrone, Michonne, Maggie and Carl. And then the usual suspect, Bucky Cap. Now, as I said in my previous video, these are definitely not in the 6-inch scale. Neither are they in the 3 3/4-inch scale. They're somewhere in between. Okay, articulation. Andrea's head is on a ball joint, so it can go up to that far, down that far. You get some pivot from side to side, quite a lot considering, and you could rotate 360 degrees if you can work with her collar. Now, like I said, this does come off, but it is a softer rubber and it will slightly hinder your arm rotation. Which are on ball discs and they can go around 360 degrees. They can go out to that far. They have a rotation at the elbow, 360 degrees, and then there's a single bend of about that much, so just about 90 degrees, but then as you go around you are going to get less. She then has a hinge at the wrist which is like that way, whereas as you can see the elbow is that way, so she can go down that far and up that far, and you then have a rotation at the hand of 360 degrees. Nothing in the torso, nothing in the waist, so no other articulation in there. Then you come to the hips, which is exactly the same as the other ones, which I said are those kind of balls sockets. So there's like a ball peg coming down from the upper torso into the leg, which gives you a very strange range of articulation. And you can go forward that much, so that's her Spartan, and then out that much. You can rotate at the ball up there, full 360 degrees, but this holster is going to get in the way. Then she has a rotation at the knee, 360 degrees, and then a single bend in the knee of about 90, but again, same as the elbow, the more you go round, the less you'll get. Now, the boots are a separate piece to the trousers, but they're not movable. The next point of articulation is a ball in the shoe, I'm guessing, which gives you a ankle pivot from there to there, and an ankle point from there to there. So much like I said about Michonne, is that her articulation is to be desired. Personally, not my favourite choice of articulation for the hips. I think it's very strange how they've done this. It's an interesting direction to go. They're trying something new, obviously. Personally, I don't feel like it is executed well, and it's not one for me. That and the scale personally is not really where I'm comfortable at. I'd much rather them to be taller opposed to shorter. I was going to say taller or shorter, but you know, I'm not a fan of 3 3/4 inches. So I am trading and selling all of these off after I've done my reviews. Anyway, final thoughts on this figure. Would I recommend her? To be honest, so far I feel she may be the weakest of the lot, just simply because I've really struggled to get anything in her hands, and that puts me off a lot, especially as the whole TV series is about using weapons to defeat zombies. But Would I recommend her? She is, apart from that, still a very good figure, and it is cool to have her accessories, which you could share with other figures, and she is a great addition to have to the Walking Dead series. So, if you're comfortable with the scale and the choice of articulation they have given her, then yes, I would recommend her, but I don't know if I'd pay a lot for her. Anyway guys, that is my review. If you have enjoyed this video, then please drop me a like down below. Please add any comments you'd like to add about this figure or my channel. If you'd like to contact me, please contact me via my Facebook, where there's a link in the description below. And you know the routine by now guys, as per usual, keep collecting, and I'll catch you on my next one. Bye bye.